wants to blow up running backs, blow up blockers, and I just love everything he brings to a defense.
All right, let's talk about Andrew Booth Jr., cornerback from University of Clemson, 6'002", 194 pounds, 31 and a half on the arms. We do not have a NFL Combine official 40-yard dash for him, but we know he can move a little bit. And Joe, I want to tip the cap to you specifically on Booth, because when he played 400-something snaps in the summertime,
I was all in.
Joe said, here's my chips, boys. This dude can ball. And he went out and he proved it this year. So what was it about Booth's 2021 season that affirmed what you thought you saw in him from the previous year?
Yeah, you saw 400 snaps across 2020 turn into an entire season of that level of play. And there's just something about watching Andrew Booth that I love, the competitive toughness that he plays with. This guy doesn't want to give anyone an inch, man. He is super competitive. He's an alpha on the field, whether that's in coverage or if it's defending the run. I mean, this guy's going to make your run defense better. And I know that's not why you draft cornerbacks, but it speaks to that overall level of toughness where this guy doesn't want to give you anything. And you see him sticky in man coverage. You see him make some of the most insane plays in the ball of anyone in this class. I mean, really ridiculous plays. And there's the athleticism component. He checks the boxes in terms of size. I know we won't get timed athleticism from Booth, but nobody watched Andrew Booth's tape and came away thinking, man, this guy's missing something athletically. He's got all that, and he checks in with, the 31-inch arms that I think is a really important threshold. So I think his zone instincts can improve. That's kind of this one thing with Booth that I feel like there's room for him to get better, and maybe that's where some of the inexperience shows up where, hey, more reps in coverage, more zone reps, he'll space the coverage, squeeze routes, adjust his landmarks a little bit more effectively, but the competitive toughness with him, the ball skills, the stickiness in coverage overall, he's a fun player to watch and one of my favorite players in the class.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna say he has some, like, his highlight reel of just, not even just interceptions, but pass breakups are unreal. Like, for a guy to be able to have the body control and to levitate, it's almost like watching him in slow motion as he's like rising in pauses, as he's knocking the ball at the catch point away from the receiver or grabbing a one-hand interception. You talk about his zone coverage. I like him, especially projecting to the NFL. I like him as a man guy.
Yeah.
Be able to mirror and match in the contact window, run. With the athleticism, we see him run full speed. He's going to be able to turn and run with the best of them. So I'm not too much worried about his testing, but man, his physicality. You don't, like I said, you don't draft a corner to play the run like that, but it's a want-to thing. And that's where his mindset, he wants to blow up running backs, blow up blockers, and I just love everything he brings to a defense.
I absolutely love Booth's profile. I think he's a great athlete in terms of hips and fluidity. Can move, he can transition at the top. He certainly has good long speed. I think if I were to knock him on one thing, I thought that he should have made far more plays in the passing game that kind of parallel with his his tools, because he's such a great athlete. He's so fluid. I just hope that he would have made a lot more plays as far as being able to take the ball away in the passing game, and that's probably my only knock about him.
I think you saw that in his 2020 snaps. So I don't know the exact number of takeaways he had, but I know just kind of watching him over the summer, you saw some of those splash plays. You saw some of those him making plays on the ball with the body control and the ability to get up vertically, which is, to me, it was absolutely outstanding. Not to copy everything you guys have already said, but the transition quickness to be able to mirror in and out at all three levels of the field, to me, is outstanding. But the ball skills, obviously, I think are special. And then to compare all those things with toughness and physicality and having that play temperament, I think the sky's the ceiling for this type of player. I would not be shocked, 2 to 3 years from now, this is the best corner in this class. I think he has that type of upside. And for a guy who, you look around the kind of draft sphere and the mock drafts, you see him late in the first round. I mean, for his athletic upside and what he's put on tape, this kid should not be getting out of the top 15. I mean, I don't know the needs for corners, but he's that good of a prospect.
Joe, I think we talked to another first-round corner, Greg Newsome, out at the Super Bowl this year, and he talked a little bit about the decision to get involved in the run game. And I was wondering because you had seen plenty of exposures to Andrew Booth at the point of that conversation. And I was wondering, from your perspective, when you heard that or when you reflected on that conversation, did that name, Andrew, and his play come to your mind at all?
100%. Because, I mean, week 1 against Georgia, right? I mean, those plays that he made against the run were insane. Taking on blocks and then, like, making tackles outside his frame. Your jaw's on the floor. You're like, how did you make that play? And it's a want-to thing. He wants it. And obviously, he's gifted athletically, and that allows him to make those plays. But the mindset is completely there for him to be a complete alpha in everything he does on the field.
We'll see how Joe planting his flag on the ground twice for Andrew Booth, along with all of us, is going to pay dividends. But if it's anything like the first time Joe planted his flag, it's probably going to work out pretty well for all of us. Andrew Booth, 88.5, one of our top corners in this year's NFL draft.